Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reasons Vietnam should be your next trip. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at some of the most compelling arguments as to why Vietnam should be at the top of your bucket list. What intrigues you most about visiting Vietnam? Number 10. It's easy on the wallet. For those looking for a value travel experience, Southeast Asia is by and large a great choice, and Vietnam is no exception. There's a reason why Vietnam has long been a mainstay of backpacking culture. You can easily have a comfortable trip, complete with sightseeing, nightlife, cultural activities, and cushy accommodations for as little as $50 per day. Talk to a practiced backpacker, however, and they'll tell you that you can get by on far less. Many pride themselves on being able to spend as little as $25 daily without making any serious sacrifices. You can get a bed in a hostel for as little as $5, and with delicious street food around every corner, you can usually dine for a few bucks. If you're traveling as a couple, your budget will go even further. Number 9. The people. A few years ago, this particular entry likely would have been at the top of our list. The friendly and welcoming nature of Vietnamese locals has long been the stuff of legend among travelers. We're here to tell you that this remains true, mostly. Tourism becoming a major economic driver can drastically affect how people react to travelers. And in recent years, it would seem that there's been an increase in opportunistic businesses and scam artists in Vietnam. While it's disappointing, this remains more the exception than the rule, and the average traveler is likely to have a great time upon visiting the country. The fact of the matter is, you should exercise caution and avoid putting yourself in vulnerable situations whenever you're traveling. Generally speaking, the locals in Vietnam live up to their reputation as hardworking, generous, and well-intentioned. Number 8. History and culture. This Southeast Asian country can trace its origins back thousands of years to roughly 2000 BC. Both historically and culturally speaking, that's a lot of ground to cover. Vietnam's storied past continues to color its present in terms of architecture, cuisine, and the various traditions and festivities observed by locals. To take a deep dive into the rich history of Vietnam, consider visiting the Vietnam History Museum in Ho Chi Minh City or the National Museum of History in Hanoi. Of course, for any Americans considering a trip to Vietnam, you'll likely also be deeply interested and invested in the country's more recent history. Vestiges of the Vietnam War can still be seen and felt throughout the country. Engaging with it through the local lens feels like an important dose of perspective. Number 7. Easy ground transportation. As previously stated, Vietnam is a wonderfully affordable destination. Depending on where you're coming from, the plane ticket itself will likely cost you a pretty penny, but once you're there, transportation joins the list of inexpensive perks. Not only are local transit systems cheap, but they're also extensive. Traveling Vietnam by train or bus, be it within a city or between them, might not set any records for efficiency, but you'll never struggle to find a readily available lift to your next destination. Domestic flights are relatively inexpensive, not to mention fast, but you miss out on an opportunity to appreciate the Vietnamese countryside. It's all well and good to prioritize the cultural highlights, but to fully appreciate a nation, you need to watch the landscape change before your very eyes. And in Vietnam, doing so is a real pleasure. Number 6. Shopping. With all the money you're saving on accommodations, food, and transportation, your travel shopping budget is likely to be larger than ever. And because the low cost of living in Vietnam extends to all manner of goods, that budget will also go much further than usual. For the fashionable traveler, no trip to Vietnam is complete without getting some custom suits or dresses made. Not only are the garments relatively high quality, but many businesses offer one-day turnaround. And you're getting all of this at rock-bottom prices. Men's suits usually come up to only about $100, while jeans, dresses, and other garments similarly ring in at a fraction of the prices back home. Handcrafts, electronics, cultural souvenirs, footwear, Vietnam's got it all. And with countless markets to explore, shopaholics will never get bored. Number 5. Adventure awaits. What with all the shopping to do at Saigon Square, Hanoi's Street Night Market, or Hang Gai or Hang Bok Street, you may have trouble pulling yourself away from the city. But one of the major selling points of visiting Vietnam is the ample opportunity for outdoor activities. The diverse landscape, which we'll be discussing in greater detail later, makes Vietnam a playground for adrenaline junkies. There's nothing like renting a scooter or motorcycle to get the blood pumping and see the country. Or why not take the slopes of the Mui Ne sand dunes to do some sledding or sandboarding? In and around Ha Long Bay, there's seemingly endless things to do. This includes cruising the picturesque bay by boat, exploring the islands, visiting the caves Dao Go and Ting Kun, kayaking, hiking, and mountain climbing. Vietnam is also a very popular dive spot. Number 4. Architecture. Vietnam's rich history is proudly on display everywhere you look, but nowhere is it more impressive than at the country's numerous monuments and heritage sites. Over the course of its millennia-long history, this land has played host to a number of civilizations and cultures, including the Cham, the Dai Viet, and the Khmer Empire. The nation, as we know it today, also bears the mark of various other influences, including Chinese, Indian, and French. The end result is a wealth of eye-catching structures that rival the temples, ruins, and religious sites found anywhere else on Earth. Some of the highlights include Mai Sun, a collection of Hindu temples ruins from the Cham people, the Khai Din Tomb and Tien Mo in Hue, the Temple of Literature, and Cao Dai Temple. Number 3. The cuisine. You haven't really eaten until you've been on a tasting tour of Vietnam. As you sample the various delicious and unique dishes on offer, you'll discover parts of your palate that you didn't even know you had. In short, dining in Vietnam is to undergo a culinary education and awaken your taste buds. Chances are that you've already tried pho, banh mi, and gai kun, but you'll gain a whole new appreciation for these dishes when you try them in their country of origin. And they're really just the tip of the culinary iceberg. Bun cha is a grilled meat dish, bun ba wei is a flavorful soup, and ban seo is a sort of savory pancake. There isn't enough time to do the highlights justice, let alone the regional specialties or the seafood. And realistically, you can appreciate much of this at street food prices. Of course, Vietnamese coffee is every bit as important to the local culture as food is. Number 2. Otherworldly natural beauty. Stunning, awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping. Quite frankly, there isn't an adjective that does the Vietnamese landscape justice. The aforementioned Ha Long Bay is without a doubt the most widely recognized of the country's scenic destinations. The lush green setting and emerald waters are impressive enough as it is, but the towering islands make it unlike anywhere else on Earth. Phu Quoc Island might be overdone, but if you're not bothered by crowds, there's no denying that it lives up to its reputation as being home to some truly out-of-this-world beaches. Ha Giang Province is a must-visit, but has long been overlooked due to its being rather isolated and rural. The views, however, are stunning. If epic landscapes are your thing, Sapa and the Mekong Delta are similarly not to be missed. Number 1. It works as part of a larger itinerary. We want to make something perfectly clear. If you're short on time, you should commit to spending your entire trip in Vietnam. This country is diverse and culturally rich enough to keep you busy, entertained, and engaged for weeks. That being said, given that traveling in Southeast Asia is generally so affordable, many people choose to take a grand tour of the various neighboring countries. Vietnam is an incredible country in its own right, but its proximity to places like Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and Malaysia only serves to increase its overall appeal. Dedicate the majority of your trip to Vietnam, but know that if you quickly want to pop into Cambodia to see Angkor Wat, it can be done with relative ease. Regardless of how you approach it, Vietnam is sure to be a trip you never forget. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.